Our building is currently located right in the heart of downtown Fort St. John. We all recognize that there are particular societal needs and issues and struggles that are raging all around us, and we have struggled to know how do we deal and engage redemptively with these particular issues. We also recognize that throughout the province of British Columbia, there is currently an opioid epidemic. For example, in the year 2020, there were 17,159 overdoses in BC. This resulted in 1,724 deaths due to overdose. 40% of these deaths were in people between the ages of 19 and 39. Too many people have died of overdose in British Columbia. And closer to home, we have seen the impact of this increasing in the last couple of years. We experienced and were witness to the tragic death of a man on our back steps. We've had numerous times we have called 911 to help people who are experiencing an overdose to try and save their lives throughout the course of those particular days. There have been increasing issues and struggles and wrestle around this in our own neighborhood in this space. A couple of months ago, I was approached by Northern Health to ask if we would partner with them to see the number of overdose deaths in our particular region decrease in a significant way. They're asking if we would help them to engage with this particular issue differently. What they've asked of us is if they could host a mobile harm reduction site on some part of our parking lot property, because this is the area where many people are wrestling with these issues, and it's an important site for them to see if they can bring these numbers down. This is a messy conversation, this is a challenging conversation, this is not a straightforward conversation. But as we've engaged in this conversation over the course of the last number of months, I've agreed that we would partner with them in this particular way. Again, I recognize that this is challenging for many of us, but I want to explain to you a few of the reasons why I believe this is important for us at this particular time. First of all, the intention behind a harm reduction site is that it would provide the users of the site at least one more day to live, to make sure that no one dies of an overdose in those particular spaces. It's estimated that the overdose deaths in British Columbia would be twice as high if it weren't for harm reduction sites, and no one to this particular point in time has died at a harm reduction site in British Columbia. In a harm reduction site, clients will come with their product, they'll bring it to that space, they'll be given clean supplies, there's a nurse on site and some other people to help and support them to make sure that if anything goes wrong, that they're in a safe environment. And again, I think this is important for us to engage with this because it decreases the level of intensity on the healthcare system. It provides protection and safety for those who are really deeply wrestling with an addictive cycle that they cannot simply stop and that they are just stuck and wrestling in. It provides a safe environment for them to be able to live another day, to be able to continue to make different choices and move towards a space of health and healing. In a minor way, it also allows our location to be a bit safer as the use of substances is taking place in a more controlled environment. But I think for me the most important reason why I think it's important for us to engage with this at this particular time is because I feel the presence of Jesus in this. As we wrestle through this conversation in this space, it is messy, it's intense, but as we've prayed and reprocessed, we do believe that Jesus is calling us to take a risk and to engage with him in something that is unconventional, is somewhat uncomfortable and challenging, but will save the lives of people around us, providing them an opportunity to perhaps choose him or to live for another day. As we've wrestled through this with staff and board, a number of the conversations have led many people to the conclusion that they just believe that somehow Jesus is in this. This is where Jesus would be, and so as his people, this is where we need to be as well. It provides us an opportunity to come along people who are vulnerable and struggling with a very real and a harsh space in life, and to actively be the presence of Jesus with them. Again, I recognize that this is not smooth or this is not easy. But what this will logistically look like for us is beginning sometime in late February, there'll be the mobile harm reduction site that will be located in the lower parking lot. We're going to try first off in the mornings from 9 to noon, providing an opportunity for clients to come and to use in a safe environment and in a safe space. There'll be a nurse on site who'll be trained. There's also a peer support worker and maybe a third person there to help navigate how this will play through. Again, they would like this to be a partnership with us in whatever ways are possible. And so if we would like to have people on the ground with them who could hear clients out, maybe get space for them to be able to feel heard and to share their story, to have an opportunity for us to actively be the presence of Jesus caring for someone in a difficult and an uncomfortable space, they are open to those opportunities and open to that space. Again, for our part, we'll provide them parking space to use this. We'll also make the building accessible to the nursing staff for various needs that they may have over the course of the time that the harm reduction site is running as well. Again, I recognize that this is challenging, this is remarkably unconventional, this is probably not what you ever thought you would hear me say in this particular moment, but I want to encourage you to continue to pray and to process these questions. We've realized that for me and for all of us, we've needed multiple conversations to be able to navigate and to process through what this might look like and how do we feel about the intensity of this journey moving forward. So we're going to have a congregational question and answer space on February the 15th at 7:30. This will probably be a virtual format for us to engage together. We'll see what kinds of options are available to us at that particular time. But I want to encourage you just to pray about it, to process it, to think of the questions that you've got. Feel free to reach out to me or to other members of the staff with the questions that you have as well, moving forward into this space. And also, if you know that this is a ministry that God might be calling you to, if you feel a burden on your heart to care for people, to practically be the presence of Jesus with them in a very difficult space, I'd encourage you also to connect with me or one of the staff to express your interest in being a part of this ministry moving forward. Again, I'm grateful that we can trust Jesus with all things and with everything, that he continues to invite us to move forward with him. Just pray that you would continue to pray for me and for all of us as we navigate this season.